y'all.
Hey y'all. Good morning.
Good morning.
We teach love here. So today we're going to talk about the word but.
Yeah.
B-U-T.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about this in relationship to weak language, as I like to say. We want to eliminate weak language. We want to talk about eliminating weak language. We're speaking a lot to women because I think culturally we are more prone to using weak language than men. We are just socially programmed to do so. So we use a lot of different words, and today we're going to focus on but. Some other words would be like just or only. I'm just a teacher. I'm only a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah.
I just wanted to add.
Mm-hmm. Or sorry.
Or sorry. We use apologies
sorry,
a lot. And so a lot of that stuff is to like shrink the space we take up or soften the impact of our words so we're not being too direct and we're couching what we're saying.
Yeah. We are trying to weaken our language in that way. We are trying to lessen the impact.
Right. And we want to communicate with impact, and we want to also take up all of the space we're supposed to take up. So today, we're going to talk about the word but. So differently than like just or only, the word but negates. That's what I say all the time. So instead of using but, I've almost eliminated it completely from my language, and I replace it with and.
Yeah,
so
I'm working on that.
And it's hard to do because we're so comfortable saying but. Anything that you say that is followed by but, anything before but, it all of a sudden doesn't, you just erased it, right? So we've seen this in apologies. A lot of people use this, have this understanding when it comes to apologies.
Yeah.
If you say, I'm really sorry, but I was just trying to do this thing, well then it's a real weak apology.
Right.
And we would not accept that as an apology.
Right.
That's kind of a trending theme we're learning about.
If you're sorry, if you really are, just say, I'm sorry.
I'm just sorry. I am sorry for that.
End of sentence.
Right.
Full stop.
So we also do that when we're paying a compliment or we're giving ourselves credit for something. Yeah, I'm really good at that, but I could work on da-da-da-da-da. Mm-hmm. No, just be really good at that. Mm-hmm. And you have stuff to work on. It's both, right? They can be simultaneous. You don't have to erase or discount one to add the other.
Right.
You can just add the other.
Right.
So tell me about, I guess, like your experience in trying to eliminate the but for you so far.
So since Rachel and I talked about this a few days ago, and so I've been really trying to use the word and instead. But the ways that here we go. The ways that it's come the ways that it's come up for me are specifically, like with self-esteem. I notice it in my sense of self-worth. Because it's very easy. I think sometimes we think that we're being like humble if we negate the good thing that we said by saying but. So I've noticed it then. I can't think of a specific phrase right now, but I've noticed it then. And I've also noticed it, we talked about this, when it comes to relationships, we feel like, especially as women in relationships, we feel like we need to, weaken the impact of what we're saying. So one of the phrases I've heard was, I love you, but I love me more.
Right.
Which is problematic for so many reasons. But, and
good practice.
It is catching me. Now I can't hear anything else. And one of the ways that we want to talk about specifically is just, of course, the use of the word but. So when you're saying, I love you, but, or I like you, but, if you've heard yourself saying that, more than likely you're saying it to somebody because you feel like you need to say this nice thing to them before you can say the true thing you want to say. Mm-hmm. And that's why it negates it, because if you use it to connect two different thoughts, you're trying to say, I want you to be receptive to what I really want to say, right?
Yeah, and I think that this idea that we have to connect two thoughts and they can't just both exist equally and simultaneously, even if they're in direct contrast. Like we can be both. You can both be happy to see somebody and mad at them. Like that can be true at the same moment. We don't have to like eliminate one or discount one or devalue one to make the other one fit.
Right.
We don't
feel
have
like
to,
because they're opposing, we have to use the
right,
word but.
like to talk about the I love you but I love me more, which is so problematic in my mind, right?
Yeah.
You can both love them and love you, and that can be equal.
Yeah.
And it can be unequal, the amount of love you have for two different people or someone and yourself. That's fine too.
Yeah.
You just don't have to use the but to take away the love you have for somebody else in order to give the love you have to yourself, right?
I think it's so powerful if you can remove the word or replace the word but with and.
Yeah, it fixes everything.
Yeah.
And it still, every sentence you say will still be true. And sometimes I've used it so much, and especially in text if I use it, it sounds almost like grammatically incorrect.
Right.
People are like, is that an and statement?
Right.
And I'm like, yes, it's an and statement. Like,
Yes.
they're like, but those things are in contrast of one another. Yeah, they are. And guess what? So am I sometimes.
Yeah.
I am both. I am both.
You are both and.
And I am both and I am not
We
both
all
but.
are.
I'm not that. I am
Yeah.
both and. I am all the things. And I actually learned as being somebody that is very much a woman and feminine and very masculine of center and masculine expressive, I had a lot of trouble with that in like understanding myself and explaining myself, which I didn't even have to do but felt obligated to.
Yeah.
I couldn't do that very well, and I felt like I had to be one or the other. I couldn't be both. And then I read a book, Spiritual Teachings of the Avatar, which changed my whole life. And in that book, it said the divine is both masculine and feminine.
Right.
The sun is masculine and its rays are feminine. And I was like, hold on, me too. And then I felt, actually, spiritually, I felt even closer to the source energy and more divine, that I could find so much balance in my masculine and feminine parts, right?
Right.
And instead of trying to discount one to make the other fit in this very worldly, socially programmed space, I said, you know what? I'm both, and that's okay. And I don't have to be one less than the other. And so I became an and instead of a but, which was like, yeah, I'm masculine, but I'm a woman. Like, that was how I would have to explain myself when people would want me to be a boy because I look like I look.
So powerful to say I'm masculine and
I'm feminine.
I'm a woman.
Yeah.
Or so what just occurred to me is I probably have said I'm smart, but I make mistakes. And it's so much more, I think, empowering to me and to other people to hear me say I'm smart and I make mistakes.
And you know what's interesting, and I think about like imperfection this way, and I make a lot of people uncomfortable with this statement. I think that we are perfect. I think you are perfect, right? And some people are like, I am not perfect. Please don't say that to me. I'm like, no, you are perfect. You are not perfect in spite of the things you do that are imperfect. You are perfect because of the things that you are that are imperfect.
Yes.
We are not built to be perfect. We are built to make mistakes and learn more, and we're built to forget so we remember, and we're built to do that. And if we're not doing that, we're actually not probably very good at being human.
Right.
We're robots, which none of us are.
Right.
So your imperfections are perfect. Your flaws are perfect. And I used to say often, I was like, you're perfectly flawed. And
Perfectly imperfect.
you're like, those flaws are yours and you need them, and they're what make you you, and they're what make you attractive and appealing and successful and all of that. And it's not but, it's and. I am flawed, and because of that I am perfect.
Right. I think this conversation in particular is important because I think this is a function of how you love yourself and how you love other people, by recognizing them as both and by practicing using the word and instead of but, so that you are empowering yourself and empowering the other people, the people that you love.
We want to challenge you to replace buts with ands.
Yeah.
Think about it as an addition, not a devaluing or subtraction of something. And so see how it goes.
Yeah. teach love.
We teach love, y'all. Peace.